Welcome to Triple Moon Goddess, your sacred space for divine feminine guided tarot and oracle messages. Today we are channeling for the Virgo full moon, which takes place on February 24th at approximately 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before we jump into the channeled tarot messages that I have for you guys today, I do want to point out a couple of different things that we need to take note of, divine feminine, with this specific full moon in Virgo. This is the last full moon before we get into eclipse season, so listen clearly when I say you want to take full advantage of the healing potential that we have with this full moon in Virgo. So there's a question that I keep hearing while I'm channeling right now, and the question is, where have you been expecting too much of yourself? Just think about where you are expecting too much of yourself. Virgos, the sign of Virgo tends to be one of the archetype of perfection and maybe overthinking and overanalyzing certain situations. So where have you been overthinking, or where have you just been simply just expecting too much of yourself, not giving yourself enough grace? So this full moon in Virgo is going to be a huge time to heal. It's a time for us to sit with the pain and heartache and give ourselves compassion. The Virgo is a sign of the goddess. She seems perfect unto herself, but she's the archetype that really carries and holds many, many, many gifts. One of the most important being is the power to heal and forgive. So if you get anything from this intro messages that I'm channeling right now, try to forgive yourself infinitely, okay? Just as much as you are willing to give compassion to others, forgive yourself. Heal the things that you don't talk about or that you do talk about, but you're not necessarily doing the work to heal them. Now is a really good time to heal that energy and focus on moving forward. Because many of us, divine feminine, I'm sensing that many of the collective are aware of the gifts that you have, but you're not able to properly utilize them because you haven't healed in some way, shape, or form in your personal life. So with that, through the healing that you can get with this full moon in Virgo, it's offering you forgiveness. Forgiveness is going to be one of the biggest themes you hear in this reading, so take a note of that. Forgiveness seems to be one of the hardest forms of release. I know sometimes we may say we forgive someone, or we may feel like we've forgiven someone, but we didn't really take on everything we needed to forgive that other person, because you have to forgive yourself first. When you hold on to like anger or resentment towards yourself or others, you kind of block your ability to see clearly and attract the energy that you need, which ultimately holds you into a lower vibrational state. And that takes away all of your abilities, whether they're creative, spiritual, anything. You want to be able to express gratitude with love and compassion. So again, ask yourselves as you journey through the full moon in Virgo, what is it that you need to forgive yourself for? Do you need to forgive yourself for something you did to someone? Or do you need to forgive someone else? And in forgiving someone else, you may have to recognize that you played a part into whatever the situation that you are calling to forgive this person in. Therefore, you're forgiving yourself. So that's enough of that. I just wanted to point that out. We do have the full moon in Virgo right now, and the sun is in Pisces. So if you guys are interested in the astrology of this full moon, stick around to the end of the reading. I will go through the astrology of the tarot, talk about some of the transits that we're experiencing right now, and give you guys a good insight to what's happening with the stars. So stay tuned to the end of this reading. Now let's jump into our tarot. Divine feminine, there's a huge shift coming in with this Virgo full moon. This may look like a beginning of a new relationship, or it could be a new chapter in an existing one. So keep in mind to take these messages as they resonate. This could be pertaining to the entire Divine Feminine Collective, or it could just be a few of you guys. But I am seeing that someone is coming who not only says the right things, but shows you they're ready for this new beginning with you. This is huge, Divine Feminine. I keep hearing you hit your target. Currently, you may be feeling overwhelmed or in shock that it aligns so perfectly for you, seemingly out of nowhere. But we trust the divine timing in. Nothing is never out of nowhere, okay? Everything falls into line the way it's supposed to. But it was your dedication. It was your focus on the prize. Exactly what you wanted and nothing less. We've been talking about that with these past two lunar transits. We've been talking about that with the new moon in Aquarius. You guys have been keeping your eye on the prize and focus on exactly what you want. And we're not settling for anything less. This is everything that you want coming to fruition. So everything you want in your cup is about to be filled, and that will be happening very soon for you. So stay tuned. But keep being patient. We don't want to rush the energy, okay? Stay focused on the prize. The song that is being channeled throughout this reading is This Is No Ordinary Love by Sade. If you don't know that song, make sure you go and listen to it after you listen to this reading. The lyrics in that song is pretty much what this entire reading encompasses, okay? This love is going to be one for the books. It's not an ordinary love. It's everything that you wanted and didn't expect, which fulfills you in all the ways you are meant to be fulfilled. Now, some of you may know exactly who I'm talking about, and others of you may not have met this person. This person is behind the scenes planning the next steps towards you. If you haven't seen this energy yet, just give it some time to marinate. Don't rush it. And remember, they are always worth the wait if they are good for you, okay? Good things are always worth the wait. So again, that patience is going to be needed because, yes, you do want everything that you are desiring, but if you're not patient for it, you could easily jump into something that's simply not meant for you and could throw you off your path. So when this person does show up for you, you will know it because they're more than ready to offer you something special, stable, secure, and I see financial support as well. So what you need, they will have, and that's how you will know. This is a soulmate. This is the real deal. This is love. Look for this energy to play out over the next 2 weeks to 6 months at the next Virgo new moon. So this energy is very potent. The entire reading is pretty much giving love, okay? I don't know which divine feminine I'm talking to, but I do want you guys to be open to the opportunity of new love coming in. So if you look at the reading spread, in the past position, we have the Ace of Pentacles upright. So with the Ace of Pentacles being upright as the past, we want to think about the new opportunities for growth and prosperity, okay? This is representing a period where you previously planted seeds for this fruitful future. So you've already sown the seeds of I'm desiring a love that is worth it, a love that transcends the 3D, something that speaks to my soul. I'm not out here to just be dating randomly. I want my divine masculine. So when we have the Ace of Pentacles in the past position, that's giving me like hope. There's potential. You've already done the groundwork for things and things are now coming to fruition. So be optimistic, stay open to the opportunities. Allow yourself to set on the path that you've already sown the seeds for. So I'm very happy to see that we have the Ace of Pentacles in the past position. Now in the present position, we have the World card being present. And I love, love, love it being in this position because, again, we're talking about your love life or your dream. Okay, maybe not just your love life, but a dream that you have. It seems to me, Divine Feminine, that you guys are feeling fulfilled. And that makes me feel good. That sense of completion, or like you marked the end of a cycle. Maybe you've been dealing with karmics previously, or you've been in a dead-end job that you knew you wanted to get out of. Whatever the case may be, you are currently feeling fulfilled. So kudos to you for getting to what you actually wanted out of your life and getting rid of all the old energy. We're not being stagnant anymore. We talked about that also in the last reading. Stagnancy is just not what we want to stick to. So the World card being in this position is really like a good omen to success. It's going to be a great end that brings fulfillment. And it really makes me feel positive about everything. So completion, fulfillment, and achievement of your understanding of what you actually desire, that is very good, Divine Feminine. So then we see that we have the Knight of Cups at the future position in our reading. And since we are on the topic of romance, we can already just see with the Knight of Cups, he's very charming. He has a vast imagination, and it's a card of romance. So this card is basically going to fulfill your heart-filled connections. Like I said, this could be someone that you've already built a connection with, or there could be a new potential suitor that you might want to build a connection with. But regardless, this is a time where you want to really embrace the fact that you have this passion around you. You have these big dreams that you might want to pursue. You're opening your heart chakra, okay? You are embracing these fresh new ideas, your inspired perspective. You're being open to romantic and artistic endeavors, and we love that. This is a good time for you to express yourself. So with all this new loving energy with the Virgo full moon, as we heal, try to do things that help you to heal. That could be maybe taking up a new hobby or dabbling back into a hobby that you maybe put down for some time. Express yourself. Writing. I'm seeing someone painting. I'm also seeing dancing. whether you're dancing by yourself in the kitchen at your house, or you're actually going somewhere to take a dance class, get your body moving. We want to exude that passionate energy that we have. The Knight of Cups is letting me know that romance is blossoming. Also, if you take a look at the love oracle message that we have, it's a soulmate card. So with the Knight of Cups being in the future, and then the soulmate card being our love oracle message, your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. So you have to believe the energy that is surrounding you. You are already within the love. You are embodying that love energy. But within that, you're able to attract your romantic partner. So I love this. I also love that we have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. So keep that in mind, you guys. We have a lot of different opportunities for heightened senses of intimacy, new potentials of grand gestures of love, just being filled with love on an emotional plane. I love that you're able to deepen the bond that you have with somebody. Keep all of that in mind when you are going into the next 2 weeks to 6 months, like I mentioned earlier. Whatever brings you joy, hold it close. This atmosphere is going to be ever-changing. It's going to be very tender, and it's going to be a lot of different fresh starts happening. So keep that in mind. So like I said, with the Ace of Pentacles, if you look directly beneath that, we have the Sky Bridge card, which talks about the possibility for union. So remember earlier in the reading when I mentioned that this could be someone you already had a connection with. If that is the case, there could be a potential possibility for rekindling that connection. This looks like a reconciliation possibility. This may not resonate with everybody. If it doesn't, please don't take that. But if it does, keep your heart open. And then with our World card, we did mention how we are coming into the end of a cycle and we're feeling completed. Like we've completed something. Not only did we just complete it, we feel fulfilled in the way that we went about completing it. So that's your overflow. That's your abundance. That's that success that you are guaranteed because you have done the groundwork already. Overwhelm and plenty. Ooh, we love that. Overflow. Now with the Knight of Cups, we have the Will of the Wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows. So again, when you do see that all this new love energy is centering around you, I want you to embrace it. Like, don't be afraid to wear your heart on your sleeve and show your authentic self to the world, because you are in the brink of a new beginning, and the only way to embrace the new is to let go and release the old. We talked about what this full moon in Virgo will do for you. It's a healing full moon, you guys. Take the opportunity to heal. And don't be afraid to embrace the shadow, okay? Whatever it is that you have to let go of, look it dead in its eye and say to yourself, I choose to not carry this with me into my future. My future is bright. The shadow must go, okay? I choose to walk into the light. So that's the message that I want to point out to you guys today. I do see we have a couple of different numbers. I'm going to point out some numbers for you. We have the Sky Bridge, which is 47. That makes 11. That's a master number. And that is one of the twin flame numbers. So just going to throw that out there. If you are experiencing a twin flame connection, this could be speaking to you. You guys could be in separation right now. And maybe, who knows, maybe you guys will rekindle or come back together. We do have 43, which is 7. And 7 is a very, very spiritual number. And with that being in the overflow and abundance card, do take note that, again, this new beginning that you're coming into, you have to let go of your old ways of being, your old habits, your old thinking patterns. All of those things, they can't come to you in your future, okay? You have to let go of those things, because your spirituality is bigger than that. You are bigger than that. You are an overflow. Then we have the Will of the Wisp, which is an 8. And we are in an 8 year right now. So for that 8 to be in the future card position speaks volumes. The number 8 again talks about abundance, stability, security, balance. With the romance coming into your life, with this new shadow that you have to embrace, try to stay balanced, okay? There's not too much that you can do. Once you step into the light, of course you have to embrace the dark, but don't allow yourself to teeter too far. Stay harmonious in the middle and try to find a good way to balance those things. Like I said, tap more into your creative endeavors, pick up a new hobby, maybe go hang out with your friends, or do something that makes you feel joy, okay? And then the last card on the bottom of the deck was Eye of the Needle, which is the intentionality card. That is a number 8 as well. So I see 2 8s here. That's very important. Keep all of those things in mind as you listen to the rest of this reading, and as you go through our next 2 weeks and until we get into our next Virgo new moon. So if you guys are interested, I do have a Rose Oracle guided theme message that I want to share with you. This card was so on point, I have to share it with you. So the card that we got for this Virgo full moon, this is the card that activates our reading. It is Trust the Seasons. It says embracing change, cycles of life, transition, growth. The rose, like all of nature, teaches us this every day. She's forever showing us how to embrace the ever-changing seasons in an ever-changing world. And we just talked about that. Like, we are not meant to stay the same. Relationships are not meant to stay the same. Life isn't meant to stay the same. Nothing on this planet is meant to stay the same. So this season is teaching us that. Every single season that we go through, we're currently about to enter the season of spring. So we're leaving winter, we're leaving all the cold and dead and barren, and we're embracing and blooming and blossoming, okay? So birth and death teach us that. Time and age teach us that. We may return to a place, we may even go back to a person, but things will never be exactly as they were. So nothing is truly static, and I want you guys to really embrace the change that comes with this new moon. That comes with this full moon. Because the more you try to control things and keep them the same, the further away from the flow of life and from yourself you get. And I love that that message came out, because another key word that you'll hear when you are listening to Virgo guided messages is that, Virgos tend to want to control the atmosphere around them. Virgo is a very grounding energy. It's a very stable sign. So a lot of times we may want to control every single aspect of our environment to make sure that we feel secure. With this Virgo full moon, with the sun being in Pisces right now, that is our axis. So the sun is exactly opposite Virgo. And honestly, it's no better time to embrace your sister sign than right now. The full moon is illuminating everything we might need to let go of and release that control, and then get in our flow state. We got the sun in Pisces. We just entered Pisces season. So, just be, allow the change to happen, allow things to naturally take course, and express yourself. How can you embrace the changing seasons of your life? I love that. We are forever becoming and unbecoming. How can you embrace that? How can you, get more comfortable in that in-between state? Like, the transformation that you feel may not be as forthcoming as you may have thought, or you may not see exactly where you're going with that. But how can you just be like, okay, this is where I am right now. This is all that is coming to me at this time. How can I just be? How can you just be? So that is the message. Now I want to go ahead and get a goddess message for us. We're going to see which goddesses will help you to tap more into this Virgo full moon. Let's see which goddesses we have, Spirit. Which goddess wants to work with us during this Virgo full moon energy? Okay, and 111 is on the clock right now. So again, new beginnings are on the way. I love that synchronicity. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so the two goddesses that I pulled for this Virgo full moon, we have Hathor and we have Ceres. Now, if you've not heard of these goddesses, I'm going to break down exactly what those goddesses are here to invoke and what messages you may be wanting to channel from them. Before I even get into exactly who Hathor and Ceres are, let me just clarify and say Spirit is very timely. Hathor and Ceres are both mother goddesses. These are goddesses of motherhood, birth, rebirth, and renewal. So I think it's very interesting that we are talking about embracing the change and kind of healing and forgiving ourselves. And we get to goddesses that talk about nurturing. I love that. Okay, but so Hathor has a power of love. She's a very loving goddess, and you may see symbols of maybe like a sun disk or a lioness or a cobra. Those are all symbols that Hathor is represented by. But something that really makes her special is the fact that she provides the goddesses of the afterlife with the food and drinks that they need, okay? She is someone who welcomes the afterlife. And not only that, like I said, she's a goddess of motherhood, love, joy, fertility, dance, and beauty. So I know earlier I did mention that I am channeling that someone needs to dance. I know I said that. So again, Spirit is very much letting me know that somebody out here needs to go ahead and dance. I don't care what kind of dance you do. Get up and move your body. So Hathor is also represented artistically with the colors gold and red. And again, she just likes to show affection. She likes to show affection to those who are important to her, those who pray for love, joy, and motherhood. Maybe you need to mother yourself in this healing time. Maybe there is some relationship that you may have with a mother figure that you feel like needs some healing. That could be a topic that's coming up, especially with us channeling to Mother and Goddess. So now let's talk about Ceres. In ancient Roman religion, Ceres was a goddess of agriculture, grain, crops, fertility, and motherly relationships. And oftentimes you will see that Ceres is represented by Virgo, as well as Demeter. They are kind of similar. If you're looking at Greek, you will get Demeter, and if you're looking into Roman mythology, you will get Ceres. So they're both earth goddesses and both commonly associated with Virgo. So I think it's very timely that we are getting a Virgo goddess or Virgin goddess being represented in this reading. And Ceres was a very loving, doting, and extremely protective mother. She is the goddess who, when she was angry, she would kill all the crops, and that's why everyone wanted to keep her happy, okay? She wanted to be with her daughter so much, she would wipe out everything. We would have winter, and then when she was able to go and meet with her daughter, Persephone, we have spring. So again, we did talk about that changing of the seasons with the Trust the Seasons card, embracing the change, the cycles of life, transition, and growth. I think Ceres wants us to know that it is okay to leave the winter state, leave the part of our life where we may have not felt as fulfilled or like we weren't bearing as much fruit. We're going into a new season, so shake off all that old energy and embrace what is new coming towards you. So let me just reiterate one more time. With this Virgo full moon, we are always on a quest for perfection. As a Virgo myself, I'm very much one of those people. But this is a time of self-healing. So please do understand that good enough is good enough. Now, thank you guys so much for watching thus far. I am going to jump briefly into the astrology of this full moon in Virgo and the sun in Pisces and what that means. So, while the full moon sits in Virgo, the sun is basically opposite in the sign of Pisces. Again, those are sister signs. So let me know in the comments if you are a Pisces or Virgo. Comment that down below. So the energy of Virgo and Pisces, they offer us two different portals to the same type of spiritual healing and service. So with Virgo, you will typically see like form and order, refinement and control. Whereas with Pisces, it's kind of formless. The energy is more so chaotic and all-encompassing. So this is why they're two sides of the same coin. Virgo is more worldly and connected to Earth, whereas Pisces is otherworldly and connected to infinite space. So Pisces doesn't see no distinction between us and another. It also teaches us to be more connected through our consciousness. Where Virgo, the Virgoan energy is more demanding us to stay within, like stay grounded, stay within the boundaries of space and time in our bodies and the world. With these two energies being on the opposite spectrum right now, I do want you to know that Pisces surrenders to the unknown and teaches us to be patient as we watch our lives unfold. So we had that Ace of Pentacles earlier in the reading that talked more so about being patient for all the new changes and things that you are embarking on. That's the sun in Pisces. But with Virgo, on the other hand, Virgo understands the flow of the universe, but kind of chooses to provide some direction. Direction and order and form makes a Virgo feel safe. Virgo reminds us again that while we can trust and surrender, we also need the guidance to be able to continue to move forward. If we don't have any deadlines or time limits, then we're kind of moving aimlessly in the world. So again, to all the Pisces and Virgos watching this reading, Divine Feminine, I want you guys to know that it's okay to let go and to surrender and to go in the flow, but also know that you have to have some sense of direction, or maybe make a list, or maybe make an objective goal or something, just to organize it a little bit better, so that you're not just aimlessly going towards the unknown, okay? But enough of the sun and the moon. We do have a lot of different other astrological influences that are taking place during this full moon. I'm going to point them out briefly. So we have the full moon, obviously. The full moon is creating certain aspects to Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter. The sun is actually conjunct Mercury right now, while Saturn is in Pisces, and the moon opposes all those planets. So the energy is very potent right now. So traditionally, Mercury is the planetary ruler of Virgo, and we do have Virgo next to the sun in Pisces right now. So the planet of communication, that energy of like communicating how you feel and processing emotions and things, all of those things are heightened since we do have Mercury energy being amplified during this full moon in Virgo. You may be having conversations with your higher self and just asking some of those more challenging questions when you go through and do your shadow work. So opposing the full moon in Virgo, we do have Mercury, which that can feel a little bit confrontational, a little bit tension, but it's okay. It's more so like bringing up old memories that you need to rehash. So I did talk about in this reading that you are going to need to process, forgive, and heal and detach. We didn't talk too much about detaching, but those are going to be the breakthrough conversations that you need to have. It's going to cause you to break down first, and you might run away from the issue that you need to address. But remember to connect with your breath and journal and allow all the questions to arise so that you can, don't be defensive about it. You want to keep being in that flow state and go through all those layers of your subconscious and address the things that you need to detach from. So those are the most important aspects that I wanted to point out. Lastly being, we do have Saturn meeting the sun in Pisces right now. So there's the energy of like commitment. Like you need to commit to the healing and growth that we are facing. So you could be either watching a reading like you're doing right now, gathering information from other sources. There's going to be a time for you to really hone in on the fact that you got to place some boundaries with yourself. Not only are you going to be putting up boundaries with other people so that you can forgive and move on, now you need to honor yourself and your path and your healing by declaring and upholding those boundaries to protect your peace and your mission. Because the energy opposes the moon. Keep in mind, the sun is in Pisces with Saturn, and that is opposite the moon right now. So the places you need boundaries are going to be illuminated, and you might get tested. And it's okay to just say no. Whatever comes up and you're not feeling it, say no and say it without guilt. So again, honor your boundaries, protect your energy by saying no. Walk away if you need to walk away. If that old love interest that's coming back into your life, is not good for you, it's okay to simply just walk away. And that is all that I want to say in this reading. I do hope that you were able to resonate with something in this reading. And if you did, please don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to Triple Moon Goddess so that you can continue to get your divine feminine healing and guided messages. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the next lunation in 2 weeks.